So first, a couple shout outs to Allie and Jason. Super cool concept, super cool execution. Also, just so happens, so a little round of applause, there are a couple other, as Josh pointed out, you don't do it by yourself. And there's a couple other members of the Church Trap team here tonight. It took a very large team of people to make that. And so I thank you to the people who helped me. So there's some burners here so you know what it is. People who don't know what it is, the Church Trap was a, I was really hoping for that video screen. Okay, so the Church Trap was it was a full-scale country church that was elevated up on a post as a kind of cartoon trap. So Church Trap, and of course, you might tell we burned it when it was done. But it wasn't burned all week. So, what does it mean, right? So, you know, it's art. So we're thinking about the different concepts of what we're trying to say with this piece. So we replaced all the crosses inside the church with question marks, because we weren't talking about Christianity. We were talking about just things that people think about, that they get attached to, dogmas that they decide to not question anymore. You say, oh, I'm going to believe in this thing that I believed in yesterday, I'm going to believe it in tomorrow, and I'm going to just hook into it. And that's what we were trying to talk about as the trap, that not thinking about what you're doing, not thinking about the rules that you set on yourself, that those are what the real trap is. So let's give you a little bit of context, because we're not all burners here. So the thing about Burning Man, it's really fucking big. The thing about Burning Man is, it's really fucking big. It's so big, nobody can keep it in their head. It's infinite, because as soon as one person can't keep it in their head, it might as well just be infinite, because it goes on forever. So you've got these pieces there that are gigantic. Things like the temple, things like the man base, things that are just immense, but they weren't there a month ago. And you look at them and you say, somebody built this. People built this. I could have gone out there, and if I had known the right people and maybe made some emails, I could have helped build this huge thing. People built it, which, when you come back here, you're surrounded by skyscrapers, you're surrounded by freeways, you're surrounded by these things that you just don't imagine how people built them. You're just kind of overwhelmed. Oh my God, there's a skyscraper. I don't know how people built that. Like freeways, but when you're there, you have this humanity. There's this humanity to it, that this whole city, you go, oh yeah, that's a cool thing. Wow, that's really amazing. Even, church trap, that's a cool thing. But you can imagine, a bunch of people got together and they built this thing. So that's the notion for me. The things that I've been learning from Burning Man are that it provides a humanity to just things in general. That things that might overwhelm me, that I can understand, no, humans make this. So I've got this idea of, I'm not an expert on freaking anything, but so this is probably not true at all. But I imagine like a village where people built their houses and they made farms, and they would walk through the village and they'd say, oh, yeah, I know that place. My uncle helped build that. My family, they helped build that. And they walk through the village and they know every single building because, they feel a connection to it. But then along came a cathedral. And the cathedral was designed to create this alienation, to create this bigger than you sort of feeling. That when you go into it, you say, I don't know how they built this. It's really impressive. God must be really impressive. And that's the notion of the cathedral, is that it alienates you and it makes you feel small and it makes you feel like, wow, what an impressive structure. So this notion of the cathedral is kind of the first alienating structure, then gets carried through to, our current contemporary civilization, malls, banks, Like, a mall? How do they freaking build a mall? Right? They're just these huge things that just alienate you, and you just go, oh, it's impressive. And I don't know. I don't see a guy with a hammer nailing a board. It's this just gigantic thing. So this notion of alienation, Burning Man helped me kind of come to terms with that. So I started thinking about, like, what if NASA was a theme camp? And it's this bunch of people, and what they do is they shoot rockets into space. And you're like, holy crap, what a fucking cool camp. Like, those guys really got it together. I mean, oh man, how did they do that? And then like Caltrans, it's this crazy camp that makes freeways all over the state. Like, these guys are just out of their minds day in, day out. Like, those are dedicated guys making freeways and stuff. But it's this notion of, what if they're just camps? It's still people who do this. And whatever these things are, we could do this. We could be part of NASA. We could be part of whatever, whatever capacity it is, but that it's not as alienating, that it's something that, that we would be able to do. You can do it, is the notion. Okay, so here's the thing about people. People do what they did yesterday, today, and they keep going until something kind of pushes them out of their normalcy. Because it's like, yeah, we're comfortable. Let's keep going with this shtick until something kind of pushes us out of our equilibrium. And when they get pushed out of their normal space, they look around for just a solution. They look around on the ground. Okay, here's my situation's not working the way it's supposed to. Let's grab something and fix it. So we reach down and just grab something. And the thing is, the ground is littered around people with products, with things that companies make in order to do that. A lot of those things that push them out of their balance are generated by the companies in the first place, and then there's products down there for them to pick up. So thinking about what it is that art, how that functions. So that's what I'm getting at. It's making art. What do we do with art? Why make art? Everybody's like, what are you gonna do next year? I'm gonna think about what I did last year. So art, what is art? What are we trying to accomplish? Okay, well, art can push people out of that comfort zone, number one, and make them look at other solutions for how they're gonna deal with things. But then art can also start sprinkling the ground with other options, alternatives to what's currently there, to what people reach down and grab for already, these products. So the notion is, if we think of the church trap, using that as the metaphor, that it's saying, don't get trapped by your dogmas. When you have a dogma, let's say, we'll just take religion, because it's the one that's obviously going with. You say, I'm gonna take this book, the Bible, and the Bible says do this. And now I can blame the Bible for doing what I do, because they gave me the rules. I'm just following these rules. It's not my fault. I did what it said. So the concept here of kind of burning the church is saying, no, it's really on you. It's all on you. When your life breaks and you look for the solution you pick up, you don't just get to use it and say, oh, this corporation made it and I paid a lot of money for it, so it obviously works. It's on you to judge it and decide, is this thing gonna be a good idea or not? So the concept of burning the church is this notion of getting rid of the dogmas and then releasing people to think about what their system is. When you accept the dogma that you're presenting, what did I say? I wrote this down earlier. When you accept the dogma, you're passing the blame for your actions to someone else. And so the church trap is about the trap of accepting solutions that are generated for you by somebody else. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do next year. I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm probably going to sleep, do a lot of drugs, and look at other people's art. But thinking about moving forward, how the church trap has affected my art, it's trying to litter the ground with ideas that make people think about what it is they're doing and not accepting the straightforward answers.